Today we're going to make lima bean soup, and I'm here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho on a really crisp winter day, February 8th, with my friend Allison Shanneman, and say hello.
Hello.
And we've messed around with the vegan diet for probably 30 years together, back and forth, and today we're going to make lima bean soup. So, now first thing that we're going to do with the soup is, this is a very easy, nutritious soup that I've had probably 10 people tell me that they hated lima beans until they tried my soup. And you're one of those people.
I am one of them. I hated them as a kid.
Yeah, because I think we all had canned lima beans as a kid. And okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to saute onions with olive oil. I'm not going to put the amounts here because you'll find them on the website along with the video, so it'll be written down for you. And this is going to be about a tablespoon of mustard. Oop, a little bit more. About a tablespoon of mustard.
I didn't realize you put mustard in there.
Yeah, it's a little secret.
Mm.
Don't tell anybody, even them. No. Okay, so now let's put this on the stove.
Now, do you want it on high? Or?
Yeah, I would like to have it on high.
Okay.
Now we're going to saute. This is a very easy recipe. It basically has oil, sea salt. Oh, we need a pinch of sea salt right here. So,
Yeah.
a couple pinches of sea salt, and then half a cup of tamari. Once we do this sauteing, I just put like 2 little pinches of sea salt. Once we do this sauteing part, we pretty much leave it alone until it's done, with the exception of, I like a nice creamy lima bean soup that kind of seems like dairy, like it has milk in it. So halfway through the boiling process of the lima beans, and you'll notice I do not soak the lima beans because I like to have a lima bean in my mouth so I can taste it, because I don't like it mushy. So I take half the lima beans out after I boil them and leave them in a bowl on the side. And then 35 minutes later, I put them back in. Because I like to have real lima beans, but I like a very thick broth. So we're going to saute this here. Oh, I need a wooden spoon. Okay, great. Now, I would say altogether, how much do you think an onion costs?
Oh my God. 12 cents.
12 cents?
The
okay.
brown onion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think basically we're looking at right here, 80 cents worth of...
Right.
And
this is great for leftovers too.
It's great for leftovers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's really good to triple this recipe, depending on how large your family is, and stick it in the freezer, because it's a great leftover soup.
Right.
Oh, and I like to put a little bit of pepper in it.
Do you have salt and pepper? Yep.
So it's a gorgeous Idaho day, and it's really fun to be up here with the weather. It's very cold compared to California. And a little bit of, just a couple of twists of pepper.
Now, won't you get a lot of the salt from the gluten-free tamari?
We will, but since we're going to use 4 cups of lima beans and 14 cups of water.
Wow.
I have found that it isn't true at all. 1 to 5. 1 cup of beans, 5 cups of water. I have found that it's, because I like a brothy soup for one thing, and I have found that you really need to put a lot more water. So we're going to use 14 cups of water and 4 cups of beans.
Okay.
Okay, and so now,
But now, if you wanted it more stew-like, would you put less water in it?
if you want it more stew-like, you can put less water, and you don't have to do that technique that I do of pulling the beans out. You don't have to do it that way. Okay, so I'm ready because I don't want to brown the onions. Okay, so this is such an easy recipe. All I'm going to do is drop the celery and the carrots into the soup. And then I'm going to take half of the, oh no, I'm going to put them all in. All of the beans in.
On the dry, before you...
Right in, before. I do it just like that. And I personally, when I cook, use the technique that I learned from Adeline Kushi of not stirring a lot. Letting things come up from the bottom.
I stir too much, right.
Well, like use, oh, do you feel like you do?
I do.
So I'm going to use filtered water, which you don't have to do. And then one of the things is that if you do it like this, where you turn the flame on and let it cook up from the bottom, by the time you take the time to get your water, it's cooked a lot because it takes a long time to get the water.
Yeah.
Okay, now what is this? 2 cups of water?
No, that's 4.
Oh, good, 4, because we have to do 14 cups, so this is 4.
Okay. Now you want me to stir or no?
No,
Okay, all
I
right.
don't stir.
Okay.
And then you could add the tamari though. We're going to put a cup of
Okay.
tamari in there.
All right. You did that.
Okay, and then that's 14 cups of water.
And that's it? I mean,
Well, now this is what we're going to do. Did you put the half a cup of tamari in?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so we put the half a cup of tamari in. We're going to boil bring this to a boil with the lid off and let it boil for 30 minutes. Then I'm going to remove half the lima beans.
Okay.
Because I like lima beans, I like to really see them. Then we really let this cook like crazy, boiling really fast. We test it for spice and salt and see if it has enough. If not, we'll add water, but we'll show you that later.
Okay.
And so we'll be back. Here we are, and our lima bean soup is bubbling very nice. It's 12:56, so around 1:30, we're going to pull half the lima beans out. Isn't that beautiful?
That's gorgeous.
And the greatest thing about lima beans is you don't have to soak them because they're big. You can get the smaller ones too, but
Oh, are these the bigger ones?
these are the big
Oh,
ones.
okay.
Yeah, and the thing is that
That is beautiful.
it does look good. Yeah. Okay. The thing is about lima beans, if you ever grow them, you remember when you were in grade school and you stuck them in a jar with a paper towel, and they germinate immediately.
Oh, yes, right. That's right.
They're just. I think they have a lot of water in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes, and so now what I want to do, because as I said before, I like to have whole beans in the soup, I'm going to take a lot of the beans out. You can, you don't have to measure exactly half, but since we had 4 cups of beans,
Do about 2.
yeah, we'll do about 2. And then I'm going to really, I think I'm going to add 2 more cups of water.
Oh, okay.
I think I am, just because these beans got a little bigger than I thought. And you can use your own judgment by the way the broth tastes and by the way the beans look,
Okay.
by how you like your soup. Okay, so this is about half. I'm going to leave these out just sitting on the side. Then what I'm going to do, I'll actually put them in this bowl. And then I'm going to add 2 more cups of water just simply because I think that that it's going to be, these blew up a little bit more than I anticipated.
Now, if you wanted to make creamier, could you put those in the Cuisinart and
Well,
to make it more like a dairy?
actually what I used to do you have a blender on a stick?
Would that be this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That's what I used to do, but I didn't have one here, so I wasn't going to talk about
Okay.
that. But let's do it. Because after this cooks like crazy, put the 2 cups of water in. Okay, and then I just like to have the tamari, to just put a little more tamari. Do you have it?
Yeah, I do. Let's see. Did I put it away already?
Okay, because the biggest flavor in this soup is going to be when the beans open up, because it's very creamy. It's a
Right.
creamy tasting bean.
Right.
So what I'm going to do, and you know what? We forgot the kombu.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right.
Show them what the kombu is. We're going to put just a little more tamari for flavor.
It's a sea vegetable and it adds a lot of minerals.
A lot of minerals.
But it doesn't
And-
really change the taste, right?
It doesn't. It changes the taste insofar as it's got the flavor of meat.
Oh,
Okay,
I
and
never
it's a
realized that.
very spicy seaweed. It's full of minerals, and it is going to change the smell in your kitchen because it smells like seaweed.
Right.
But it doesn't. You can serve this kombu to the best of them who have never had seaweed in their life, and they'll never know. It's just the smell that you smell. So what I want to do you have scissors?
Yes, I do.
What I want to do is just put a little bit of kombu in. Not a lot, because if we're serving this to your son-in-law tonight who doesn't really like vegan stuff, or anyone else, like my husband does not like kombu. People who aren't used to vegan type ingredients. So I'm just going to take what did Michael call it this morning? A prawn? What was it called?
I can't remember.
A stalk of kombu. Okay,
A
so
stalk, yeah.
I'm going to do 1 stalk, and I'm going to just drop it right in. Now, come over here because I want to show you how. What I'm going to do with this is now I'm going to turn it up high, and I'm going to really boil the bejesus out of it for 20 minutes.
For the kombu?
For the kombu, and because I want the beans to really open up.
Okay.
Then I'm going to take that blender stick, and I'm going to
Okay.
puree it. Then I'll test it for taste, and depending on how spicy it is, I will put the beans back in and maybe add some more spices.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Okay. Now we're going to look at our soup. Okay? We've been boiling the soup again.
For about 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Okay.
Now what we want to do is, you've got your blender, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. We're going to blend this soup, or we also could mash it.
Let's mash it.
You want to mash it?
Yeah, let's
okay.
mash it to make it a little. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take your mom's
Old masher.
old masher. My mom had one of these too, and these are great.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. And now look at the kombu. You
Okay.
see?
Mm-hmm. Now you're gonna take it out, or you're gonna mash it?
I'm not going to take it. I'm going to mash it up. No, because I want to disguise the kombu so that people who say they don't like seaweed won't know the difference. Okay.
Good. Like Travis, which we should tape tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And he'll eat it and he'll go, "Oh my God, this soup is so good." Now, so what we're going to do is, now you don't have to mash it up too much. The whole point of this is just to get a creamy broth. Okay. And you know, like I said, I'm not a big measurer. I think I probably put too many lima beans in, so I'm going to add more water again.
Okay, that's right. Yes.
Because okay, so we mash it up so some of the beans break open. Okay, now what we're going to do, I'm not going to put all these beans back in. To me, a lot of really good cooking is instinct, and you can tell by how something looks. You might not follow it the way you normally do, but you can tell by how something looks whether or not you need to change what you're doing. Because sometimes the quality of the squash or the quality of the beans. So I think I'm going to...
How would those be sautéed with, like a kale or
Oh, they'd be
collard
fabulous.
greens? Like you cook them to that point and then sauté it?
It'd be fabulous. So let's put them back in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add water again.
Okay.
I am, because I want to use all the beans since, you know, we're not
Right.
going to be here, and then you'll have a lot of soup you can freeze.
I can freeze it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is add some more water, and
Have you tasted it yet for...
go ahead and taste it. The big flavor of lima bean soup is the beans.
Oh, that's good.
Can we leave this going while we leave?
Yes, we'll put it on
Okay.
low.
All right. So what we're going to do is cook it low and slow, and I am going to fill it all the way up.
Oh.
I'm actually doing a lot more because I'm showing people how to do it. Normally, I
Right.
throw it all in there and I leave.
And yeah.
Okay.
You're good at that.
Well,
You're freer with your cooking.
yeah,
Good
I'm
meat.
a little raw with cooking. It's like throw it in there. I don't even cut the carrots because you could throw the carrots in and chop them up with a spoon once they boil.
Or with the masher when you
Yeah.
yeah.
Because if you want to make stuff from scratch and you don't have time to make it perfect, you know. Okay, so I am going to add a little more tamari. And when you get really more into the vegan lifestyle, you can be more into a simpler taste.
Right.
You know,
It's
doesn't have to
kind
be-
of to take us to that point.
Right. Now, before we leave, we're going to go out. We're actually going out to lunch, aren't we?
That's right.
We're going to the Lemongrass Cafe here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and it's a vegan. It has a lot of vegan choices. But we are going to put this on high and bring it to a boil before we walk out the door. Then we're going to turn it down to low.
Okay.
And actually, you could probably cook it for another hour and a half.
There you go.
Okay?
Yep.